Last video of the unit. Yay. Okay. We need to talk about a lurking variable. We briefly talked about it, but here's your official notes on it and the idea of a lurking variable or a variable being confounded with another variable. Okay. So a lurking variable is a variable that has an important effect on the relationship among the variables in a study, but is not one of the explanatory variables studied. Okay. So let's go back to this whole idea about we could investigate study time as our explanatory variable and how that influences a grade on a test. So here's my explanatory variable. Here's my response variable. Acknowledging, right, that there are other variables out there that might influence this response, okay? That's not the explanatory. That's called a lurking variable, okay? What happens though is this lurking variable could be confounded with study time. If we can't tell if a person's grade on a test is because how much they studied, or is it just because they had a high IQ? In fact, you could argue, right, that people with a high IQ are going to study more. And then as a result, they're going to get a better grade on the test because a person with a high IQ will make the smart choice to study more throughout the unit. And they might get a better grade on the test for that reason, okay? So what we would say then, we would say, let me get my taper out here, that study time and high IQ are confounded because we don't know if the person's grade on a test is because they studied a lot or because of their high IQ. You could go on to further say it and relate them now. A person with a high IQ will probably study a lot. And then as a result, they'll get a better grade on the test. Again, something is confounded when we don't know if that response is because of the explanatory variable or is it because of the high IQ. They are then confounded.